Let's talk about the rhythms that are used in Twinkle. Mozart was really the composer of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Most people think of Twinkle as a folk song, and it is, but it's really based on a song, Ah, je voudrais maman, which was composed by Mozart. What Suzuki did was he took this wonderful children's folk song, written by Mr. Mozart, and analyzed the Bach double and found common rhythmical units that occur not only in the Bach double, but in most major compositions. He then decided to use these and incorporate these with the Twinkle notes, and this is how he created the variations. When I was in college, a percussionist friend of mine was discussing how to effectively remember rhythms, and he said, you really need to put words. This is a trick that percussionists have used for a long time, which most other instrumentalists, while we have been struggling with how do we play complex rhythms, instrumentalists have known this. So, many teachers do use some kind of words. These are the words that I use for the variations. Variation A is 4/16 and 2/8, and as we've talked about previously, the words that I use are Mississippi stops, stop. If you have friends or family that do take Suzuki with another teacher, there's a number of other words that other teachers use. I happen to like this because Mississippi stop, stop makes you stop the bow on the 8th notes. The next rhythm, or variation B, is 1, 2, sh, 4, or the 8th quarter 8th. And again, going along with the technique that we've done up to now, you want to make sure to have your students stop the bow after each note. Now, this is a syncopated rhythm, so the challenge here is to make sure that the student has a long enough bow for the quarter note. What you'll usually hear in the beginning is something like this, which is okay for the beginning, but eventually we want to work on that and help the student have a longer note on the quarter. Variation C, I call stop, pony, stop, pony. Again, utilizing the word stopped to make sure that the bow stops. And sometimes we call them the stop pony twins because we do 2 of those per note. Did you notice that I also stopped my bow on the shorter notes? Again, the more a student can stop the bow, the better his or her articulation will be. Variation D is a new one that was added in the revision last year, which is double triplets, which I call strawberry, blueberry. Again, you could say strawberry, strawberry, but then you might get lost. This way, if you say strawberry, blueberry, you're communicating that there are 2 rhythms per note. My favorite is Wish I Had a Motorcycle, which is 8/16 notes. And again, I don't know if you noticed, but I put a little pulse on the first note of each 16th note. After these variations are all done well, and after the student has learned the order of the notes and has put everything together, then I teach Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It's a great dessert after having a large meal. For Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, I use whole bows for every single note, again stopping after each note. The only difference being is that the bows are slow bows for the half notes. So here we're talking about bow speed, using the same amount of bow, but just adjusting the bow speed.